What are the best ways to grow your personal brand in 2024? Perhaps you're considering all the different social platforms and feeling a little bit overwhelmed, or you're just curious about what is doing best right now after a lot of research and also testing out all the different variables. I'm really excited to share with you my personal insights on how you can grow the fastest in 2024 and moving forward with the current algorithms in place. And the answer might surprise you. Social platforms continuously change. They are not the same as they were in the past. In the past, it was easy to grow on TikTok because it was skyrocketing. It was new. Everybody was at home. Everybody was having fun creating content. And it was like the platform to be on. More recently, obviously in the last 2 years or so, YouTube and Instagram and Facebook have really become competitive with TikTok and trying to maximize the strategy and the ability for people to be able to grow organically there as well. For a really long time, it was almost impossible for people to be able to grow on Instagram, specifically because it was so focused on like the pretty pictures and your organic audience had to like it. And there wasn't really like, I don't know, meta ads have always been a thing, but they weren't really a thing. You know what I mean? Like people weren't talking about them and people weren't testing out new things. It was kind of like you either grow on it or you don't. And there were a lot of different ideas, but a lot of them were just never working. So people weren't really actively trying to grow on Instagram. They were trying to grow on TikTok. And in the last couple of years, more so on YouTube. YouTube and TikTok are where I really grew my audience first. I've always had Facebook and Instagram just because they're kind of more like a social connection platform for me. But like I said, in the last couple of years, the algorithm has changed. And for the first time ever, it is really very possible for a new creator, even with a brand new account, to actually grow very quickly on Instagram. And Pinterest has also stayed in the picture for a long time too. So if that's an interest to you, I definitely encourage you to check that out as well. I just personally haven't spent as much time on Pinterest, so I'm not really going to focus on that today. I am going to focus on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube because those are the three places where it is really vital that you start sharing those short vertical content type pieces. And obviously this video is a longer wide video, so I'm purposing it for YouTube. But you know what's cool about this? You see how I'm filming this with me kind of in the center? I can totally edit this later and I can cut just this center part and I can utilize part of what I'm saying to you as a teaser for a video that will then encourage the viewer to come watch this full video to gain all the full insights. So that's just another hack that you can do if you want to utilize multiple platforms at the same time. Crop the sides if you want to and you decide that you want to utilize that later for both YouTube and Instagram or TikTok. Now, why is it that all of a sudden Instagram is so much more easy to grow on than in the past? Well, in the past, like I said, it was so focused on those key influencers. People were kind of following them. It was more of like a social connection platform. Whereas when TikTok's algorithm made it so easy for people to start growing, they were having so much fun getting their videos to go viral. And everybody was really putting effort into creating. And oh my goodness, like everybody became a creator because they could, because their content was being shown to people all over the world and everybody was engaging. I mean, like I had several videos go viral. Like I'm talking over 1 million views. And when people start arguing in the comments of your video, that's how you know that you've gone viral. And so with all of that said, I definitely want to encourage you to start utilizing Instagram. And here are some key things that you want to do every single time that you're posting on Instagram. You want to make sure that one, you're relatable and high quality. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're just going to throw stuff up and hope that it goes viral. But you also want to make sure that the people who are following you and the people who are watching your videos are the people that you want to be talking to in your videos. So if you're just posting like one thing here and one thing there and they're like totally unrelated, then you're not going to really be engaging with the right viewer, and Instagram is going to be really confused about who you're trying to talk to, and then it's going to not know who to show the video to, in which case basically like all of those different areas where it keeps showing it to multiple people are going to slow down, because kind of how the algorithm works, to my understanding, is it will show it to a group of people that it thinks are interested in it, and then when those people are interested, then it expands. And then those people, if they're interested, then it expands further. And then that's how you go viral. So it's good quality content that's relatable to a lot of people, but also the algorithm needs to know who you're talking to in the first place, because if it doesn't know where to start, then you'll just be one of those videos that stays at like 20 views. I mean, oh my goodness, like I've had videos that did that and I was like, what? And then I started doing some research and I realized, okay, there is actually a way to grow and you don't necessarily have to stay with like those 2-digit views, even on a brand new channel. Like I started a brand new Instagram and I was doing some testing, and even with only like 40 followers, I was able to get multiple videos to gain over 1,000 views right off the bat, like within the first 24 hours. And so it's very doable. It's just a matter of knowing who you're talking to, being able to provide that relatable content that's also high quality and high value. You want to deliver value to whoever is watching your content. So whenever you're gonna post on Instagram, you wanna make sure to utilize all the different things. And I will be making a whole separate video about like basically a full checklist of what you need to do every time that you're gonna post on Instagram. I'll go through the importance of hashtags, keywords, your cover image or thumbnail, your caption, the importance of the actual hook that you're including in your video as well as in the top of your caption. Like there are so many things. The audio, everything that you put in your video impacts it. And whether you think about it or not, you know, even your activity and engagement on the platform will have something to do with the performance of your videos, because they want to make sure that you are an active user and you're not just like trying to post and then not be active on your Instagram. They want to make sure that if they're going to promote your content, that you're actually somebody who's going to respond back and engage with all the people who are commenting on your videos and things like that. So in other words, even if you're posting faceless content, they want to make sure that the person behind the camera is engaging and doing those things to build the relationships on the platform. And they want to know that you're going to be on the platform for a while. Now, YouTube and TikTok, again, these are still really good places to grow, but the purpose is different. So with Instagram right now, the big thing is having a hook and having that value content where people are going to come back over and over and over. And everything is short. Everything is really short. Like I'm talking 6 to 8 seconds, even 5 to 7 seconds. Like those are the type of videos that are doing really well. And the thing is, oh, how do I pack a ton of value into a 5 to 7 second video? You put a hook in the video and then you go to the caption, and that's what people are doing. And it's not even like you have to do like some crazy dance or something that gets people's attention. You can just be even doing something mundane in the background, like pouring coffee and then putting the content over. The thing is, if you're delivering value to people, then they will come. And that's the main thing. Like so many people think that, oh, I have to be like doing something crazy. And sure, if that's your thing and you want to dance or whatever, like that's cool. That's you. You do you. But most people don't want to do that, honestly. Like I think that's part of why a lot of the people were starting to kind of like feel like they were done with TikTok. I'm not saying TikTok's done. Like I have a big audience there and I still continue to share content with them. But I did kind of take a break. And when I came back, I was really shocked at how low of views that I was getting when I first started. And then I was like, oh, the algorithm changed. Okay, I got to change with it. And that's the thing. No platform stays the same. Everything is always evolving and you really have to evolve with it. So now let's also talk about YouTube. And the thing is with YouTube, it is definitely a completely different type of content. And actually going off of that, the type of content that you're going to share on TikTok is not going to perform the same as your Instagram content. So even though it would be so ideal and easy to just repurpose your Instagram reels for TikTok and as well as YouTube shorts, those same videos, those 5 to 7 second reels or 6 to 8 seconds, however you do, are not going to perform the same on all those platforms. And part of it is because TikTok also doesn't give you the option to create a cover image. So you're not going to have like that pretty look that you have on Instagram. It's a lot more like organic and just like action shots, you know, like you pick an image from your video and then maybe you can put like a banner over it, and that's pretty much it. If you want to get like fancy, then what you can do to kind of hack that is you can actually put a image within your TikTok video, like maybe at the very end for like a split second, and then you can choose that as your cover. But that's kind of up to you. I don't think it's really important because it's not really something that the algorithm takes into account as much. I think personally the algorithm on TikTok is going to take a lot more into account about how people are engaging with your content. And if they are just specifically looking at your page and like looking how pretty it is, they're going to be like, oh, this doesn't match the rest of TikTok. Like it's not going to make a big difference because those users aren't accustomed to that. Whereas the users on Instagram are accustomed to that. Like it's just the way that the platform has created its own atmosphere and environment. And then similarly, YouTube. So obviously shorts have become a big thing, and I haven't even really been utilizing shorts as much as I would like to, and I'm definitely going to be sharing a lot more shorts on my channel, so be on the watch for that. I'm going to try to give you a bunch of value-packed content within those shorts. But again, they're not going to be the same as Instagram or TikTok, because even though it would be ideal to be able to just reshare those pieces and only have to create like one short or one reel, you know, and then put it across all the different platforms, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't do that because they can help you. Like all content is an opportunity for you to continue to grow your audience, but it's not really the same draw. So what I mean is both TikTok and YouTube are not going to be the same type where the people expect to read a ton of value in the caption, like how Instagram is doing right now. And what you want to do instead is actually put the value in the video, which makes it a little bit harder because everybody has a very short attention span. You do still need to grab their attention within the first 5 seconds or less, even like 3 seconds. But if you can do that, then you can continue to deliver them value, and they're more likely to actually stay and actually watch those videos on YouTube, because people on YouTube are used to long form content. And so again, it's just the viewers that are used to a certain environment and a certain way that they engage in the content on each of those platforms. So what you want to do on YouTube is make sure that you're bringing value in the video and not necessarily having everything in the caption, because if it's all just hooks, people are not going to stick around. Versus if you're on Instagram, then they can instantly see that caption and they can instantly get all of that value. Whereas YouTube, it's actually a little bit more difficult to like see the caption. You have to like click 2 different buttons. You have to click the options and then you have to select description. It's like not like it doesn't just show the description there. Like it's not like your hook is in there and they're like, "Ooh, come read this description." Like they have to actively do things, and people don't want to actively do things. They just want to scroll and like do whatever they're doing. And if they have to work to read a caption, they're not going to do it. So that's why the actual value needs to be in the video. Now, you could still test out a few different things. Maybe you do part of the value in the video and part of the value in the caption. For example, instead of saying like, "Learn the one mistake that you're making," and then they have to go read the caption. Like people are like, "I don't have time for that." But you could say, "Learn the biggest mistake that you're making, thinking that you have to stay in one niche for the rest of your life. And then here's why, read the caption." You know, at least something like that that's a little bit more like, I'm gonna give you the answer and then I'm gonna tell you why. That might be a little bit more helpful. Or for example, you could say, "Here are the top 3 tools that you can use to grow your platform. 1, 2, 3. And then here's why, read the caption," instead of just like read the caption to find out what the 3 are, you know? So again, there's a couple different ways that you can do it to add more value, but really the main thing too is showing up consistently and showing your personality. And again, you don't even have to necessarily have your face on the camera to show your personality. You can do all of that, especially on Instagram, in the captions. Show who you are with your personality and your opinions and how excited you are about different topics and your knowledge that you know, because people will interact with that. They'll interact with your tone and your energy and the value that you bring to them. Like if you can bring them value, then it doesn't matter if you're showing your face or not. You know, it's totally up to you what type of content you want to come with. I'm personally pretty comfortable talking on camera just because I've always been like that type A entrepreneur, extrovert type person, but not everybody is. Like I don't think most people are that comfortable in front of the camera. Like even I, like when I sat down, I was like, it always takes a second to come back. Also because I haven't been talking on video as much lately for a while. And so it's gonna take me a second to warm back up, and I know that. And there's a couple different things that you can also do to get used to talking on camera. You can kind of pump yourself up with music. You can pump yourself up with a podcast. You can listen to one of my videos and I'll try to help you out, you know. There's a lot of different things that you can do. You can do affirmations in the mirror. Like there's a whole bunch of different things. You can do jumping jacks, like whatever it is. I can do a whole nother video if you want to know all the different things that I recommend for that. But my whole point is all of these different platforms are different. The algorithms are changing. It's not the same as it was before. It is maybe harder to grow on some platforms, but easier to grow on others that you weren't able to do before. And at the end of the day, my top recommendations for a place to grow right now are YouTube and Instagram. Specifically, if you're utilizing Reels, that's the best type of content right now that is performing very well on Instagram if you're utilizing all the different tools correctly. And like I said, I'm definitely happy to make a separate video about all the different things that I go through every single time that I make a reel, and the checklist of things that you need to be aware of every time that you're making a piece of content, because you shouldn't be burning yourself out just putting out content, not knowing if it's going to perform. You should actually expect it to perform if you've done all the things right. And if you've done all the things and it still doesn't perform, then maybe you have to reevaluate who you're talking to and what your message is, because that is really the bottom line of all the content that you're creating. Is my message getting through to the person that needs to see it? And if it is, then the algorithm will match it. Because again, keep in mind, the algorithm is not looking for viewers for your videos. It's looking for videos for its viewers. So if you keep that in mind, that'll help you maybe consider what is the message that you're trying to get across, who are you talking to, and what's the value that you're bringing to your videos. Okay, I think that's enough for one video because I've been talking straight for like 20 minutes and that's a lot. So I hope that this wasn't too overwhelming. I hope that you do take some of these tips and give them a try. Comment below, let me know how it goes. And I hope that you do follow this channel if you're interested in learning more about all of the different things with social media growth, digital marketing, and how to create your personal brand. And as a mom, I just want to say, It's so fun to see other moms or anybody who is really passionate about what they're doing and especially has a big why behind what you're doing. So if you're creating a personal brand, maybe you're doing it because you want to spend more time with your kids. Maybe you're doing it because you want to be able to travel more. Like, I want to know why you're doing this. Comment below, because to share that passion is something that really hits home for me. So anyway, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget to like this video if it brought you some value. Thanks guys, I'll see you soon.